Activate Lockcode. Current status. Sleep mode. Safe to proceed. No.
Hey, Chief, what's wrong?
The minis, they're gone.
Huh? What? What do you mean that they're gone?
They were just here a minute ago.
Whoa, wait, time out. Are you saying that someone stole them?
Vortex, I'm not going to take any chances. We have a thief somewhere around here.
Okay, but who would want to steal them, though?
Who goes there?
It's the minis. They're awake.
But how?
I can explain that. Micronus Prime, at your service.
Hello everyone, it's Khan. Welcome back. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm the fabulous leader of the Decepti-KHAN army, and today, as you may have saw the cutscene, we're going to be reviewing Micronus Prime, but this is actually not Micronus. This is actually his little accessory. This little itty-bitty guy is Micronus. Yes, so we are going to be reviewing Micronus Prime. He is our third Prime that we're going to be reviewing. I do want to let you guys know, and especially at the time of this recording, we have hit over 30 subscribers. So yes, we finally hit over 30 subscribers, so thank you guys so much for checking out my videos and subscribing. So basically, I want to let the new subscribers, anyone that's just watching or has recently subscribed, I do want to kind of let you guys know what this channel is going to be all about. So yes, I do review action figures. But you might notice that in my reviews, there's definitely a little bit more like cutscenes and skits that play out. I have a little bit of a storytelling focus with the channel, so you definitely kind of notice that there is going to be some cutscenes, and as well as a larger narrative that's happening in the background. So if that does sound like something that you'd be interested in, make sure to subscribe, because I got plenty more cutscenes and stuff that's going to go down on this channel. But speaking of which, I'm on the main quest right now. So my main quest is to find the 13 primes. If you guys are interested in seeing how the quest started, I would probably recommend starting right here with the Solus Prime review, or you can also check out Bumblebee Soundwave's review. I will put a link up here as well as down in the description box so that you guys can check out how the main quest started. Or if you would like to see my humble beginnings, I would also suggest starting right here. If you'd like to see my humble beginnings of how I started this journey. I actually have no idea how I'm going to review this since we have like two different characters. I mean, it's the same character, but we have two different toys that we're playing around with. So I will probably alternate between the two throughout this whole review, but just kind of know that this is the main guy that we're reviewing is Micronus. So let's go ahead and dive right into their articulation and see what they're all about. As you may notice, we have two figures, so we're going to go ahead and focus on the big guy first, and then we'll come back to Micronus himself for the articulation. So for this guy's articulation, I can't really rotate his head very well, but pretty much his head does actually go down. You can tuck his head under his chest just like this. His arms can go all the way around. His arms can bend. He is capable of doing a T-pose. And yes, his arms actually are detachable. His arms can twist. His hands can rotate, but you can't bend them, nor are the fingers articulated. He has no waist rotation, but he is capable of bending over. His legs can go forwards and can also go backwards. And yes, he's capable of doing the splits. His legs can bend, but a bit of a note. His left leg is capable of bending, but you might notice that there's like this little peg in the back. You do have to kind of move this over in order for his left leg to properly bend. His legs can rotate a little bit. He has no foot rotation, nor does he have like any sort of like toe or foot that you can rotate, but he does have ankle tilt. And yeah, that kind of takes care of this guy's articulation. So let's go ahead and move on to Micronus himself. So for Micronus Prime himself, here is his articulation. His head can rotate left and right, so you can rotate his head all the way around. He's capable of looking pretty far up as well as looking down a little bit. His arms can rotate all the way around. He does have elbow bend. You can twist his arms. He has no hand rotation, nor can you bend them. He's capable of doing a T-pose. He has no waist rotation, but just like his mech suit, he is capable of bending over. And despite his size, he's also capable of doing the splits in both directions. I find that really, really interesting. He can actually do the splits. His legs can bend. His legs can rotate. His foot is essentially the leg, so he doesn't really kind of have like a ankle tilt kind of thing. I don't know if you would call this the ankle tilt, but this is just how his foot looks. And that pretty much takes care of Micronus Prime's articulation. So now that we have checked out both of these characters, let's go ahead and see if one of these guys can become a supermodel, right? So let's see who can model the best in the posing photo shoot.
So, what'd you think?
Not bad for an ornament.
Oh yeah, hotshot? You think you could do any better?
Hey, I'm not the one auditioning here.
Still, I do like the mech suit. Is there anything else that he can do?
Well, there is one other thing he can do.
Oh yeah? And what's that?
Ooh, that's gotta be painful.
Yeah, well, the arms kind of have a mind of their own. Plus the legs.
Hey, a little help over here?
Oh, yikes, I better help him.
So Micronus Prime comes with a couple of different accessories, starting with the Chimera Stone. It's a pretty small little disc thing that he can slot on both hands. It's really pretty, and it actually looks really nice under different lighting conditions. But this is kind of like his major accessory that he gets to equip. Yeah, when you're done with the Chimera Stone, you can actually slot it in the center chest of the mech suit, just like this. And for some reason, when I look at it a little more carefully, it kind of looks like a compass. I don't know, it kind of looks like a compass, maybe like a slice of like orange, but it's blue. I don't know, that's what it kind of reminds me of, is like a blue-orange. Now, I did see if he could equip other weapons, starting with Black Dragon's sword. So this is what he looks like when he equips swords. And it's a little bit really comical and a bit exaggerating that he can actually equip these because they're so big. I did also want to see if he could also equip other weapons, notably Barricade's gun, and it's a pretty decent size that you can actually slot it on his hands just like this. Then I tried testing with Arachnid's guns, and honestly, her weapons look really good on him. I honestly feel like her weapons should have really just gone to Micronus, because look at this. Like, he looks like he's lock and loaded, ready to go with these guns. Like, honestly, these should have been his weapons and not hers. Gotta love the weapon testing here. And of course, I wouldn't want to forget about Novocaine and Freezer. And yes, funny enough, he can actually slot it, but yeah, he just falls over. I'm not surprised that he falls over because it's ridiculously huge and he's very small. But funny enough, he actually can hold Novocaine and Freezer just like this. So similar to Micronus Prime, we are also going to do some weapon testing with the mech suit and see what this guy can equip. Now, pretty much the mech suit himself, I guess depending on how you look at it, Micronus himself can also be his main accessory, because when you first get Micronus Prime, Micronus is already going to be inside in his chest, so it's going to look kind of like this, basically. So I guess in a way, Micronus himself is the accessory for the mech suit. And as mentioned earlier, you can actually slot the Chimera Stone inside the chest here. So this is kind of another place where you can actually store the Chimera Stone when you're done playing around with Micronus. Now, I did want to see if he could actually equip other weapons. And funny enough, he's actually able to equip Black Dragon's sword. So it's a little bit kind of awkward, but it is actually possible to equip swords like these onto him. Because of how his hands are designed, he's not going to really kind of hold them pretty well, but it's pretty close. Then I want to see if he could equip Barricade's gun. And again, kind of funny, he can actually equip Barricade's gun. But it's kind of interesting that even the mech suit can equip these kinds of weapons. And last but not least, I did see if he could equip Novocaine Freezer. And unlike Micronus, he does not fall over when he has this equipped. But yeah, he can actually equip Novocaine Freezer in his hands. Very interesting that the mech suit can equip different weapons. And yeah, that kind of takes care of the weapon testing for both characters. Alright guys, it's time to move on to the transformation for Micronus Prime. Now, as a bit of a note, Micronus Prime himself kind of has his own transformation, which I'm not really too worried about in this section, because, he's just a few steps, and this is what he looks like when he's fully transformed. So the main transformation we're going to worry about is going to be his mech suit, in which the mech suit actually turns into a bike. Here are the instructions, and we're going to see if I'm able to put this together. So, would you like to see if I was able to assemble the bike for Micronus Prime? Here he is. Alright, so here is the bike, and honestly you guys, I actually didn't even think that this was going to be really hard, because I think that the first time around when I saw the transformation and also seeing that this bike you do have to take apart, is you do have to take apart the arms and the legs to be able to build it. I'd say that was kind of like where I was really feeling a little hesitant, and probably the reason why I was a little bit dreading this transformation, because this is probably the first transformation where I actually had to disassemble something and then put the pieces together. But surprisingly, it actually isn't quite that hard actually. It kind of reminds me a little bit of my experience when I first put Scourge together, because Scourge looks really complex, he's got a lot of parts, but once you read the instructions and put it together, it's actually not that bad. I have no idea what I signed up for. So yeah, I don't think this wasn't too bad of a transformation. In fact, I think it's probably one of the best accessories that he has. I mean, look at this. He can basically kind of giddy up on this bike and he just never let go, right? So you basically just kind of mount Micronus on top of here. It's a little bit kind of awkward to get him in the right spot, but this is basically how he looks when he's on top of the bike. Definitely looks pretty Cybertronian. It looks pretty unique, actually. It's a very unique accessory for him. And again, I love that it goes from like a mech suit to a bike, so it's pretty awesome. Now, I'm not sure how the exhaust pipes are supposed to kind of look. I guess you can kind of mount them like this, or you can have them kind of facing the other direction. But I kind of like having it like this because at least the bike stands up properly. So it's just for stability purposes. So what would I rate the difficulty on this? Honestly, I wasn't really sure how difficult I wanted to rate this, and especially because I want to combine Micronus Prime's transformation included. I kind of would give it still like a 2, maybe a 2.5 out of 10 on difficulty. I don't think he wasn't too difficult, but I think reassembling him is also kind of the other thing I also have to think about. So that's kind of why I'm kind of notching him up from like a 2 to 2.5, because you do have to remember how to put him back. Pretty much that kind of takes care of my transformation attempt on Micronus Prime's bike. I would say that my main critique, or my main criticisms, is more with this guy, for 2 reasons. The big one, especially with the transformation, you do have to disassemble him. That's probably the one thing I don't like, is you do actually have to take apart the arms, and then you gotta take apart the legs. And then when you get done with all that, then you have to put the arms and the legs back on this figure. So it is kind of a hassle. I guess that's kind of one of the things I want to say, is that it can be a bit of a hassle to put back together, but at least once you put it together, though, he does make a great bike, though. He is probably, the best part about Micronus. Now, the only other thing I want to critique on with this guy, though, is the head. He has really stiff head rotation. And as you probably may notice, every time you try moving his head just wants to just go down. I mean, I know that he's a mech suit, but even then, I mean, he has his own articulation. You could really play around with this guy if you really wanted to. Again, he kind of is his own action figure as well. I just really hate that. The head, just the fact that every time you try to rotate, it just wants to be, it just wants to go down. I really don't like how that works. That's really the only thing I want to critique on mostly, is just this guy. Because Micronus himself, Micronus, this guy, he's actually not bad, actually. And in fact, he's really pretty, when you shine the light on him, because he does have, this glow. I think he's made out of, this clear plastic, which kind of explains why he's a little bit transparent. But again, under the right lighting circumstances, he does look really pretty. Even his accessory also glows, too. So it's really nice. Again, he's a very pretty little guy. Almost like a gemstone, almost. There's not a lot of negative things I want to say about him, basically. Maybe except for the fact that his legs, I guess, they kind of look really hollow. I don't know. I feel like the fact that his legs are kind of hollow, I don't know if I like that. But I mean, everything else about him is still pretty good. I guess the only other negative thing is that his Chimera Stone, I feel like, is kind of forgettable. I don't know if it's just me. I mean, at least you can take this off. Ooh, if I can take it off, dude. If I can take it off. Hold on. Okay. At least you can take it off, and then you can just put it in here when you're done. He just gets this really pretty stone But then again, you know, like the mech suit is also the best part about him too. So I guess my only little thing I kind of wish with Micronus is that I wish he had his own little, you know, blaster. Because if you saw in the weapon test, like, he looks really great with both Barricade's gun and also with Arachnid's gun. So I kind of wish he had his own little blaster to go along with the Chimera Stone. I feel like that would make him a little bit more fun to play around with. But again, I had a lot of fun with him in the weapon testing. So would I recommend Micronus Prime? Well, I think seeing that I'm giving him a really glowing review here, yes, I absolutely do recommend Micronus Prime. And then again, this is what he comes with. Like, he's basically a 2-in-1 toy. Like, I would say that he is probably one of the best Primes we reviewed so far. I mean, this is only my third one, but I think he's so far probably the best one that I played around with. And, you know, I think that they both kind of have their own, like, strengths and weaknesses that balance them out each other very well. You know, like Micronus, since this is like the main character himself, you know, he's still a pretty good figure, but I think he's greatly enhanced with this. That even though that this guy, you have to take him apart and create the vehicle mode, he is probably the best accessory overall. And I'm kind of curious how he would kind of look with the other characters. That's definitely going to be a photo shoot idea to see if any of the characters can ride on him. So, yeah. So, again, that basically concludes my review with Micronus. So I suppose we should see which one of these guys is likely going to be able to wave goodbye a little bit. So if you guys like this review, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you are new. And I shall see you guys on the next review here. And perhaps we will see where the roads take us with these guys. So have a good night, you guys.
NingasCon was your name, right? Minis are all sad.
Oh, these guys are pretty adorable.
We're home. We're home.
Home. Home.
Just what are these guys?
Oh, Quintus didn't tell you what they were, huh? They're lost toys. They could use a home, if you get what I mean.
Whoa, wait. We may be in the business of collecting, but what can these guys even do?
Well, that's up to Ningas to decide. He is the storyteller, after all.
Quintus said I would give these guys a purpose.
Give us purpose.
Purpose.
So, what shall their purpose be?
I think I know what I'm going to do with you guys.